Hey friend, this is Jack Later coming to you from my home here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and wanted to talk about gratitude and hospitals, believe it or not, trips to the hospital. This is the day before Thanksgiving, and it's so important to realize the things that we're grateful for, and want to talk about some things that have been happening this year. And I thought, man, I better get this video done right now because later on today and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and I'm going to have all of my kids here in my home, including my two daughters that are married, and their four kids. So I'll have 5 kids all together in my home, and 4 grandkids, and those are obviously big, my big blessings, and want to talk about some blessings that have happened to me this year, and something that you might relate to, maybe not, I don't know, but I am really grateful also to have wonderful, awesome parents, and I feel very lucky, very fortunate, because I know that there's many people, including some of my own friends that didn't have such great upbringing, but I've been lucky enough to have both parents who there was never alcoholism in my family. My parents never drank. I never saw them, get involved with drugs or anything like that. My dad has been faithful to my mom. It's just kind of an ideal, upbringing. And my parents have been married for 62 years, I believe, 62 or about 62, 63 years now, and so I feel very grateful. And I got to tell you, the reason why I'm grateful. Right now I'm grateful that my parents are still alive. My mom is 80 and my dad's 85, but man, they have been going through a lot of physical trials lately. My dad first got cancer about 20 years ago, and over the last 2 years, this cancer came back. It's a prostate cancer. He had his prostate removed, but the satellite cells from that cancer remained and caused all kinds of problems in his body. And about 2 years ago, just a second here, I got to get a drink. Excuse me. About 2 years ago, his cancer really skyrocketed. His PSA counts went way up, and over the last year and a half or so, he's been getting treatment from a hospital, and a great hospital at Huntsman Cancer Institute. Thanks to John Huntsman Sr., who funded the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and a wonderful doctor there at Huntsman Cancer Institute who's been taking care of him, and they've kept his cancer in check for an additional 2 years now, and he's been doing great. He's really tired because of the medication, but he's still alive, and I'm really grateful. Still have his great sense of humor to share with me, and it's been great. In fact, about a year ago, I took him to a Utah Jazz basketball game, thanks to the internet business that I do, which I'm also grateful for. But I was able to do that, and I'm grateful that my dad is still with us. Also, my mom, excuse me, a little itch in my ear. Sorry, I'm just being myself here. I did a little scratch here or there. But anyway, my mom has really been battling the health issues also. About 5 or 6 years ago, she had a mini stroke, and then about 3 years ago, she got breast cancer, and she's been battling that. And about a year ago, I think it's been about a year ago, she actually finished chemotherapy. She got a complete mastectomy, and it was a stage 4 cancer, stage 3 cancer with her, and then stage 4 cancer with my dad. But anyway, mom's cancer situation was pretty horrendous. A year ago she did chemotherapy, and it really wiped her out. As you can imagine, the challenges that people face with chemotherapy, and it also made a big difference in her, in long term, in her cognitive abilities. She's a very smart, very intelligent individual, and I kind of miss that in a way, kind of, because it's been, I know, challenging for her, but yet she's still a fairly intelligent individual anyway. It's been frustrating for her because she's a professional artist, and you can see some of the paintings behind my house, behind my head here of an old house that we used to live in, and my son behind me, and she painted both of those. And anyway, the chemotherapy affected her nerves at the end of her fingers, and that's what she paints. She relies on that. So there was a long recovery there, and not being able to paint as much as she normally does. And she normally paints, many hours every single day, even at her age. She tries to paint full time, and the cancer really slowed her down. Now, and in addition to that, about probably 5 or 6 months after she got finished with her chemotherapy, she was starting to get better, and all of a sudden she got a serious bout with shingles. She had the kind of shingles that would settle in your eye and then go back over her scalp, and it was really serious. Her face was swollen, her eye was swollen almost shut. It could have caused her blindness, but gratefully it didn't. So I'm grateful that they were able to put that in check. And what she had to do is, it was extremely painful, as you can imagine. We put her in the hospital. She was there for 3 days, and then she spent another, I think it was about another 3 or 4 weeks in a care facility, just dealing with this terrible shingles. It's an awful pain. Just watching my mother go through this, it really was sad for me, very difficult for me. But she got through it. She's quite a fighter, and I feel really grateful that my parents have been able to survive this stuff. And it was multiple trips to the hospital. My title in this is correct, because there's seldom a week that's gone by in the last year that we haven't made some kind of a trip to the hospital, either for my dad or for my mom. My mom, after she got over her shingles, just days after she got released from her care facility, she passed out at home, and my dad took her to the hospital, and they determined that she needed a pacemaker. So a few days later, they implanted a pacemaker, no problem, and got her stable again. And again, I'm grateful for great doctors at the hospital who helped her out there. And then just yesterday, 2 days ago, I was talking with my dad on the phone. He says, well, Mom's complaining of chest pains. And she's never had that before. Even with the pacemaker, she never had chest pains before. And also the pain started going up to her jaw. My wife was actually on the way over to the house on that day, and so she actually took her to the hospital. And I'm grateful for my wife, too, in helping out here. Generally, it's been me taking him, probably a couple, 2 or 3 times a month to the hospital for one reason or another, and Patty has actually been pitch hitting for me several times on these trips. Well, anyway, Patty took her to the hospital to have her checked out. They put her in the hospital overnight for EKGs and stress tests and echocardiograms, and fortunately yesterday, and another gratitude here, another blessing, she was fine. That we have to watch her still, and we have to monitor her, but she actually passed the test without any noticeable problem. We're not sure exactly why the pains, or maybe other reasons for it, but as far as the 3 tests were concerned, they pretty much passed her, and so she's not out of the woods. We still have to watch, but I am so grateful that my parents are still alive. I'm grateful that I was a part of being able to help them on a daily basis, or on a weekly or monthly basis or whatever. I go to their home about once a week and check on them. And just yesterday, as I was taking my mother home from the hospital, she always apologizes because she doesn't want to put us out. And she said, she apologized. She says, I'm sorry you have to take us to the hospital so often. I'm sorry you had to take me to the hospital. And I says, Mom, don't apologize. Really, this is a blessing to be able to take you to the hospital. It really is. You have to kind of understand where I come from. When I was a small boy, my mom and dad were taking me to the hospital very frequently, and because of a serious intestinal problem that developed when I was an infant. And they almost lost me. They had gone, I had 2 separate operations on my intestines. The first one failed, and so they had to go in a second time and do some additional repairs and fixes, and the doctor told my parents that if I didn't have this operation or something like it, that I probably wouldn't live past 12 years old. It probably would kill me. And so fortunately I got that operation, but my parents were in and out of the hospital all the time with me, and I just feel grateful that I could help them out. I feel grateful that I could be the one taking them to the hospital. It's not always been easy with my schedule. As you know, I'm very involved with my business, and it's done wonderful for me, and I'm very involved with my teaching, and I love it too, and I continue to do both. I'm also active in my church, and obviously with my family. I've had a lot to do, but I'm very grateful that I got to help them out. I really am. And so I'm grateful that my parents are with me. I'm grateful that my kids are healthy. And on top of that, about a week or two ago, my son got into an accident. I'm not making any of this up. My son got into an accident, and he hit a concrete barrier, and it deployed the airbag. But fortunately, he walked away with no serious injuries. He may have had a bruise or two, but he didn't even complain about that. But I feel grateful that he's alive. My second daughter just got married a short time ago. She had some challenges in, she got pregnant right away, and she had some challenges with that baby, and she was afraid she was going to lose it. But she went to the doctor, and they took care of her, and she's still carrying this baby. I have so much to be grateful for. So much to be grateful for, and I had to kind of think of a list and think, what am I grateful for before I did this video. And it occurred to me that I have a ton to be grateful for, and that's what I'd like to challenge you to do right now. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Take out a sheet of paper right now, write down the things that you're grateful for this year. Forget about the tough things that have happened. Maybe not. Sometimes that helps you be more grateful, but just write down the things that you're grateful for right now. Not the things that you're lacking, but the things that you're grateful for. Make it a long list, and maybe write a video about it, or a blog or something, or tell somebody else, tell a family member that you're grateful for them. Anyway, let me know what your number one takeaway is from this video right now, and comment, like, and share if you want. And if you're curious to see what I do to make a living online, I've also left a link below the video here. But anyway, hope that you make it a great day and a grateful day, and I'll see you on the next video. Incidentally, you're going to be getting a video soon here it's called Dayton's Legs. I would encourage you. It's going to come on Thanksgiving Day, or you may see it later on if you see it on a rerun in my emails. But keep your eye on your emails for the next videos. Anyway, hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and if you happen to be seeing this on a different day than Thanksgiving, hope you have a grateful day. And that's what I want to leave you with today. And so make it a great day. See you later. Bye.